Our first women's town hall with Sheikh Jamil will be on October 28th from 2 to 4 p.m. Again, this is for women only, and it's a town hall with Sheikh Jamil. This is the first of the kind that we have ever had at this masjid, and Sheikh Jamil will be answering questions. And sisters are requested to send their questions at women@coronamuslims.com no later than the 26th of October. Also, a positive parenting club has been started beginning on 11/4. It'll be every Sunday it'll last for 6 weeks. So this is it's called Positive Parenting Book Club. It's also organized by the sisters. So it'll be every Sunday for 6 weeks. For signing up, please go to our website or see our newsletter. Inshallah, that'll give you all the guidance for doing that. Also, our weekly halaqah for youth continues from 6 to 7 p.m. with Sister Samar Hadrus. The topic is confidence versus conceit. It's a very, very important topic for our youth. A few other events happening that are not our masjid events, but I'd like to mention those also because we try to help all the Islamic organizations as much as we can. So Helping Hand is having their comedy tour and fundraising dinner on Saturday, November 3rd at the DoubleTree Hotel. Ikna Relief Annual Banquet is on October 27th, and Al Shifa Clinic will have their fundraising banquet here in our masjid, in our town hall, on the 10th of November. The evening before our event, they will have their program here also. And with that, the lunch is Halal KFC. Please buy on your way out because that helps our funding for the masjid. All the profit from that, all the lunch sales do go to our masjid for the general fund. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كلام الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Verily all praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and all thanks is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We praise Him, we seek His assistance, and we seek His forgiveness. And we seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the evil that resides within our souls, and from the evil that results from our actions and our evil deeds. Whomsoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides, then none shall misguide. And whomsoever Allah allows to be led astray, then none shall guide them to the straight path. I bear witness that there is no God worthy of worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is His final prophet and messenger. Allah tells us in the Quran, O you who believe, be conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and fear Him, and as He deserves to be, and do not die except as Muslims. O mankind, be God conscious, who created you from one soul, and from it its mate, and from it many men and many women thereupon. And be God conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through whom you ask one another, and by the rights of the wombs that have bore you. Verily Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ever watchful over you. O you who believe, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and speak the truth. He will render your deeds righteous for you and forgive your sins. And whoever obeys Allah and His messenger has indeed achieved a great victory. Verily the best of speech is the speech of Allah, and the best guidance is the guidance of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And the worst of affairs is the affairs that is innovated, for all religious innovation is misguidance, and all misguidance leads to the hellfire. In one of the narrations, Sahih narrations, Anas bin Malik tells us a story in Sahih Muslim where he describes the relationship that the companions would have with that of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that it was always of utmost respect, that they would not ask questions that were irrelevant. They would not ask questions just for the sake of asking questions. They would only ask questions if there was an actual need, right? And he said, and there was this, and we always relished if there was a person who would come from outside of the town and who was very intelligent, and he would ask some very simple questions, and that we might be able to benefit from it. And that one day, this man from outside, he came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he went to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he said, Messenger of Allah, Muhammad. He said, your messenger has come to us and informed us that you are indeed a prophet. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, indeed, he has spoken the truth. Then the man said, the Bedouin, the Arabi, he said, and who created the heavens? The Prophet ﷺ said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then he asked him, and who created the earth? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then he said, and by the one who has created the heavens and the earth, and the hadith is actually very long, and the mountains, and so on and so forth, did he indeed send you upon this mission? And the Prophet ﷺ said, indeed. Then he said, and your messenger has said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written for us 5 daily prayers. He said, indeed. And your messenger has said that it is required for us to do all these other things, for example. And the Prophet ﷺ said, that is true. Then the man said, by Allah, the one who has created the heavens and the earth and the mountains, and the one who has sent you with this truth, and all of it, I shall not do anything more than what you have ordered. And with this, the man departed. And the Prophet ﷺ looked at him, he was departing, and he told his companions, if he speaks the truth, then he will be successful. This hadith, brothers and sisters, I would like to focus on a specific element, a specific aspect, and that is, this companion came not only to seek knowledge, but he came to confirm and corroborate information that was given to him. And this trait of being sure of what information you have, especially in the matters of deen, in matters of your religion, this excellence and drive to separate between what is truth and what is falsehood, to separate between the narrations that are authentic versus those that are inauthentic, for example, especially those that are fabricated. This is what drove the scholars of the past to go and collect all of the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. And this idea of corroborating and confirming and not basing off of assumption of what knowledge that you hear or learn is not just something that Islam requires us, and is not something that is the legacy of the scholars of the past. This is something that we as humans need to do. During the time of the Prophet ﷺ, there was a man by the name of Al-Harith ibn Abi Dirar. And there had been between his tribe and the Prophet ﷺ and the Muslims some disagreement and skirmishes. And at the very end, his tribe had lost, and they had lost the war, and some of his tribesmen, and including his daughter, they ended up being captured by some of the Muslims. So he went and he said, I'm going to go and ransom and free my daughter from the Muslims. And as he was going on his way, he had some camels with him, and he had passed by a valley, and he hid 2 of his camels into this one cave, and then he took the rest with him, and he went to meet the Prophet ﷺ. And when he met the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet ﷺ asked him what he came for. He said, I came to ransom my daughter. And the Prophet ﷺ said, and what do you bring forth? He said, I bring for you these camels here. And the Prophet ﷺ said, no, but indeed you had hid 2 in a certain place. And that man, at that moment, he realized that there was no other way that the Prophet ﷺ could have known this, except for what? Except that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informed him. So he immediately accepted, the Prophet ﷺ accepted the message of Islam. Later on, this daughter married the Prophet ﷺ, and her name is Juwayriyah. The Prophet ﷺ sent her father back to her tribe as a representative of the Prophet ﷺ to collect zakah and to make sure that everything is in order. And the time to collect the zakah had arrived. And so the Prophet ﷺ has sent a man to go, Al-Walid bin Uqbah, to go and collect it. And historically there was some disagreement between Al-Walid and this other person. Their tribes had some friction. So he went to go collect the zakah, and somehow along the way he got nervous and he didn't end up collecting the zakah, and he just sort of imagined that the other side was going to come and attack him. So he went to the Prophet ﷺ and he said, Messenger of Allah, they refused to give the zakah and they even tried to attack me. And the Prophet ﷺ, when he heard this, he was so angry because he thought that perhaps this person had gone back on his word, right? That perhaps this person that I had entrusted, perhaps he is refusing to give the zakah. And so the Prophet ﷺ sent another person to go confirm, and it was almost going to, they were almost going to reach trading blows, and then they found out that this story was not entirely true. But the people actually did not refuse to give zakah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as a result, sent down the verse, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِن جَاءَكُمْ فَاسِقٌ بِنَبَإٍ فَتَبَيَّنُوا in Surah Al-Hujurat. O you who believe, if an impious person should come to you with news, فَتَبَيَّنُوا, then seek its clarification. And another authentic recitation, فَتَثَبَّتُوا, then to substantiate. And having these two characteristics in any sort of information that comes to you, to first clarify and then to substantiate, these two are very important things for any one of us as citizens, as Muslims, to adopt. That any information that comes to us, any information that we hear, we need to first clarify. Did we first understand the information? Maybe we misunderstood it. And once we understand what was said, we have to then go what? Confirm if that was true or not. This idea of not rushing to judgment, brothers and sisters, is something that the Prophet ﷺ teaches us over and over again. That it is part of the human nature to rush. It is part of the human nature to jump to a conclusion. You hear half a story and immediately you want to conclude. You immediately want to say something or take an action. And it is very, very dangerous. That's why the Prophet ﷺ, he says, التأني من الله والعجلة من الشيطان. He says to deliberate and to pause and think and take your time before you make a decision, before rushing to judgment. This is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In other words, this is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Having that foresight, having that wisdom to not rush to a judgment, to not take an action, a unilateral action that you cannot take back. وَالْعَجَلَةُ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ, and conversely, to rush into a judgment, to rush into believing something, this is from a shaitan. Because shaitan would love that you believe that you are taking swift action, when in fact, you could be very much on the wrong path. This notion of not judging as well, we find it in the story of Sulaiman alayhi salam, where, and some of you know, the Prophet Sulaiman, he was inspecting his troops, and he noticed that one of his soldiers, the hudhud, the hoopoo bird, it was missing. And he said, قَالَ سَنَنْظُرْ أَصَدَقْتَ أَمْ كُنْتَ مِنَ الْكَاذِبِينَ. We'll see if you are, and the bird later on came back and said, I saw the Queen of Sheba, etc. You know the story. But the fact is that he took the responsibility to first check. Even when there was an apparent mutiny or disobedience that he saw, he wanted to take care of it and not rush to judgment. One of the famous quotes that the Arabs used to say regarding rushing to judgment, that they used to say is, rushing to judgment is, as they describe it, Ummun Nadama. It's the mother of all regrets. Why is that so? لأن صاحبها يقول قبل أن يعلم. Because that person is going to speak before he knows. ويجيب قبل أن يفهم. And he will answer before he comprehends the situation. وَيَعْزِمْ قَبْلَ أَن يُفَكِّرْ. And he will make a vow to do something. He will decide to do something before he even thinks. وَيَقْطَعْ قَبْلَ أَن يُقَدِّرْ. And he will be very decisive to take action before he even measures and weighs the options. وَيَحْمِدْ. And he will praise. He will praise before testing, and he will criticize before developing an experience, before you actually have one first-hand experience. And that's how a lot of times that we hear a new idea, we don't know anything about it, immediately, oh, this is bad, this is a bad idea, rushing to judgment. What are some of the ways, brothers and sisters, that we can implement this in our lives? The first thing is not to assume the worst of other people. And that is, during the time of the Prophet ﷺ, there were some companions, they were sitting, and there was a man that had passed by, and with his sheep, and there was obviously some iqtirabat, you can say some confusion back then, enemy combatant versus non-enemy enemy combatant. And anyways, he greeted them, and then they said, oh, he must be doing it to save himself. He's just hiding his falsehood, and he's pretending to be Muslim. And so some of these companions, they attacked him, and they took all of his sheep. And then the Prophet ﷺ rebuked them, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِذَا ضَرَبْتُمْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ فَتَبَيَّنُوا وَلَا تَقُولُوا لِمَنْ أَلْقَى إِلَيْكُمُ السَّلَامَ لَسْتَ مُؤْمِنًا. Oh, you who believe, should you be on an expedition somewhere? Then seek clarification. And do not say to that one who came to greet you with salam that you are not a believer. This story really teaches us about the preconceived notions and the judgments that we harbor in our head about the people that we have in our community and in the society at large. How many times do we look at someone who is, mashallah, blessed with a lot of wealth, but we already have a preconceived notion that they either must be arrogant, flaunting their wealth, or possibly extremely stingy. And how many times have we made a preconceived notion that someone who is less fortunate is automatically in our head lazy, or that they are not hardworking, or that they are perhaps sinful, for example, that maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is humiliating them, that's why they're in this position. This kind of prejudgment is very, very harmful to all of us, brothers and sisters. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله. Alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulullah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa ba'd. Another way to prevent any sort of presupposition or prejudgment, the Prophet ﷺ teaches us, and that is, he tells us in a hadith, ألا أخبركم بخياركم قالوا بلى يا رسول الله قال الذين ذكر الله تعالى. Shall I not inform you of the best of people? They said, of course, Messenger of Allah. He said, these are the ones that you will see, when they are seen, they're always remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, obviously, it doesn't mean that they're doing it for show off. It's just, they're always, mashallah, when you look at some people, their presence reminds you about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then the Prophet ﷺ said, أَلَا أُخْبِرُكُمْ بِشِرَارِكُمْ. Shall I not inform you of the worst? قالوا بلى يا رسول الله. And he says, المشاؤون بالنميمة المفسدون بين الأحبة الباغون للبراء والعنت. The Prophet ﷺ says, on the flip side, and shall not tell you about the worst ones. And he said, these are the ones that drive a wedge between people, and they actively gossip, and they are talebearers. They just always coming with the latest and the greatest news, always giving you the latest scoop, the latest 411. These are the people that you want to stay away from. The Prophet ﷺ also tells us, كَفَى بِالْمَرْءِ كذبا يحدث بكل ما سمع. It is enough of a lie for a person that a person shall narrate everything that they hear. Just because you hear of something, it doesn't mean that you have the right to retell it again, because you don't know if it's true or false. Brothers and sisters, a lot of times this kind of exhortation and reminder about not rushing to judgment is very easy to say on the tongue, but it manifests in many other ways that you might not foresee. And I will give you an example. Sometimes there are people in which we don't know what the problem is, or maybe the person is not really taking responsibility for their own actions, and instead we will resort to some sort of conspiracy belief, right? Instead of actually addressing the issue, we will say, aha, perhaps this is the evil eye. Or perhaps this is someone was being jealous. They're just being jealous of you. They're giving you ayn and hasad. They're doing jadoo and black magic. Brother, you failed the test because you didn't study, not because someone gave you the evil eye. Take responsibility for yourself and don't resort to these sort of conspiracy theories and causing suspicion. And we, as Muslims, and this brings us to a point of the issue of the importance of understanding mental health. The importance of cherishing and knowing that mental health and its issues is not something that Muslims don't have a problem with. Muslims in our community and outside, they are faced with issues of depression or anxiety, etc. And this is not just simply an issue that we can just hear half a story of someone that's going through a tough time, and then we just say, oh, if they read Quran more, then they would be a better Muslim. This is not the way of the Prophet. This is not the way of how you hear something and you just immediately dismiss it off in that way. Brothers and sisters, sometimes when you don't confirm something, it can actually lead to a lot of chaos, and this really can affect when you have like a small-knit community. And that is during the time of the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ had made his intention that after the people of Mecca had broken the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, that he had made the intention to go and retake Mecca. And the Prophet ﷺ said that not anyone shall inform someone. And one of the companions, Hatib ibn Abi Balta'ah, he had slipped out a note to the people of Mecca, not because he was actually a traitor disobeying the Prophet ﷺ, but because he was so afraid of any repercussions, that if the Meccans heard of the oncoming army of the Muslims, that they will maybe take some of the Muslims that are left in Mecca as hostage. And his family was still there. So he slipped that note in. And when he was brought back, some of the companions said, perhaps he was a spy, perhaps he was planted, perhaps he was here just to cause fitna, and perhaps he's just an evil hypocrite. And then the Prophet ﷺ said, no, he made a mistake, he's not a hypocrite, and at the same time, he had witnessed the battle of Badr, etc. Brothers and sisters, we are living in a time where it's so easy to fall on either extreme. Either we dismiss something as fake news, right? Things that we might not want to hear, we dismiss it as, oh, fake news. Or we go to the other extreme because it is a good friend of yours, because it is someone that you have been a friend with, mashallah, for 35 years, that automatically this is the truth. And that is not always the case, brothers and sisters. That you must seek clarification and confirm any sort of information that you get, even if it's as simple as your child coming home and telling you, oh, the reason I got written up in school is because the teacher was mean. Really? Teacher was mean? Well, okay, go find out. I used to be a teacher, and I used to get this sometimes. Parent comes rushing into the school, very, very angry. My son said that you did this and this, and that you're very, very mean. Okay, have a seat, let's talk about it, and then they go out completely changed. Oh, okay, it wasn't like that. That's just one simple example. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the strength to follow what we have just heard. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to show us the truth as truth and give us the strength to follow it, and show us falsehood as falsehood and give us the strength to stay away from it. Allah, we ask you at this hour of time and need that you give us what is the best in this world and give us the best that is in the next world and protect us from the hellfire. Allahumma arina al-haqqa haqqan warzuqna ittiba'ah wa arina al-batila batilan warzuqna ijtinabah. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. Oh Allah, we ask you that you protect and give victory to all of those who are oppressed around the world. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. And again, O Allah, give us what is the best in this world and the best in the next life, and to protect us from the hellfire. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد، وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. عباد الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله العلي الكبير واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. أقم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر، أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله، أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة، حي على الفلاح، قد قامت الصلاة، قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر، لا إله إلا الله.
Straighten the lines, استووا واعتدلوا. Fill in the gaps. سدوا الخلل، حاضوا بين المناكب والأقدام. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى ونيسرك لليسرى فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى سيذكر من يخشى ويتجنبها الأشقى الذي يصلى النار الكبرى ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل ألم يجعل كيدهم في تضليل وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل ترميهم بحجارة من سجيل فجعلهم كعصف مأكول. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Brothers and sisters, please remain seated. We have an important guest who's going to be speaking to us, inshallah. While he's walking up here, I don't see him where he's at, but while he walks up here, please, I want to do a quick reminders. Please pay special attention to this. We do have some people outside for non-Muslims from different church, and they are passing out literature or whatever they're doing. Please do not engage with them. Again, do not engage with them. You don't have to take any literature that they're handing it out. Just ignore them. Don't get into arguments, any discussions. So it's their right to come and stand outside of our gates, and they can do whatever they want outside the gates. So please do not engage with them. Do not create any issues. It is not becoming of us if we do get into those kind of situations. The second thing is regarding membership. November 16th is the last day for paying for your membership for this year. Please make sure your membership is paid up, so your membership does not, the clock does not start all over again. So now I'd like to introduce Bill Asaili. He's a candidate for the 61st district, 60th, for the State Assembly, and he'd like to say a few words. First, before that, unlike some churches that think the Johnson Amendment of the 501c3 has been written off by Trump, that is not the case. I do want to make the disclosure that we are a 501c3 tax-exempt organization. We do not endorse any candidate standing up here in the podium. I can do that in my capacity outside over here or anywhere else. But standing here, myself or anybody else on my behalf standing up here or our behalf standing up here cannot make that endorsement. Thank you. Please pay attention.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. I go by Bill Asaili, but my name is Bilal. And I'm running for State Assembly for here, the Corona area. I grew up here in Corona. My background is Lebanese. My parents came here in the 80s to flee the civil war in Lebanon. And they came here for the American dream, for me and my sisters. We were born here, we were raised here. And I've spent the first 30 years of my life going to school, going to college, going to law school, and I was a prosecutor in the community at the District Attorney's Office and at the U.S. Attorney's Office. And I made the decision to run for office this year because I felt like California is not the same California I remember. It's going in the wrong direction. When I grew up here, my parents were able to buy a house. They were able to get a good job. They were able to put us in good schools. And now it feels like the dream that they came here for is slipping away. Gas prices through the roof. Housing prices through the roof. Taxes going up. And then some of the other stuff that's going on in the state, I can tell you as a prosecutor, with they're letting prisoners out of jail. We're not holding people accountable in our society anymore. Morality is on the decline. And so I've made the decision to run because I feel like it's the right time. It's important, I think, for us to have representatives of our community. I am Muslim. I would be the first American Muslim to be elected for state office. And I think when you have a diverse community, it's important to have diverse leadership as well. So I would appreciate the opportunity to come and speak. I will be here. I'll be outside. If any of you want to come talk to me, I have handouts. You can learn more about me. All I can ask is that you consider me, consider my background, my platform, and encourage you to vote this November. My website, if you want to take a look at it, is takeback60.com, takeback60.com. And I'll be here should any of you wish to ask me any questions. I've invited my opponent, Sabrina Cervantes, to a debate, but she's refused. She does not want to debate and have any public discourse on her position, so it's unfortunate. Maybe she'll change her mind and we could do it here. I don't know. But I appreciate your time, and I look forward to meeting you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Again, brothers outside, please do not engage with any of those people who are standing outside passing out any literatures. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كلام الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We give Him our thanks, we praise Him, we seek His assistance, and we seek His forgiveness. Whomsoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shall guide, none shall misguide, and whomsoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows to be led astray, then none shall guide them. I seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the evil that resides within our souls, as well as the evil that results from our actions. Allah tells us in the Quran, O you who believe, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, be God conscious, as He deserves to be, and do not die except as Muslims. O mankind, fear your Lord. We created you from one soul and created from it its mate, and from it many men and many women. And be God conscious and fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by the rights that you ask one another, and by the wombs that gave birth to you. Verily Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ever watchful over you. O you who believe, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and speak the truth. He will render your deeds righteous and forgive your sins, and whoever obeys Allah and His Messenger has achieved a great victory. Verily, the best of speech is the speech of Allah, and the best guidance is the guidance of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The worst of affairs are those that are religious innovations, for all of those innovations are misguidance. All misguidance leads to hell. During the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Anas bin Malik tells us that they would not ever ask the Prophet ﷺ any questions. They would not ask him any questions except out of necessity. And this was a way of showing respect to the Prophet ﷺ. And so they used to relish the thought of someone else from out of town coming to ask the Prophet ﷺ of a question so that they might benefit. And so one time this man came, he was a Bedouin, he came to the Prophet ﷺ and he asked him, he said, Messenger of Allah, O Muhammad, he said, your messenger that came to us to do da'wah, he said that you are indeed, that Allah has sent you as a prophet. The Prophet ﷺ said, he has spoken the truth. Then this person says, وَمَنْ خَلَقَ السَّمَاءَ فَمَنْ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ Who created the heavens? And the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he said, and who created the earth? He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he said, and who made these mountains? And he said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then he said, and by the one, وَالَّذِي فَبِالَّذِي خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَنَصَبَ الْجِبَالِ اللَّهُ أَرْسَلَ إِلَيْنَا. By the one who created the heavens and the earth and made these mountains, is Allah the one who sent you as a prophet? He said, it is. And this is a very interesting form of expression by building up the argument, by establishing a common ground, asking him who did all this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then asking him as an oath, did Allah send you as a prophet? And then he says, and your messenger, O Muhammad, said that Allah has written for us 5 salawats. Is this true? He said, he has spoken the truth. And he also told us that we have to fast, and then we also have to give charity, etc. And the Prophet ﷺ confirmed all that. And this man, later on, he said, وَالَّذِي بَعَثَكَ بِالْحَقِّ. Okay? لا أزيد عليهن ولا أنقص منهن. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لئن صدق ليدخلن الجنة. He said, by Allah, I'm not going to do anything more or anything less of what you said we're required to do. And the Prophet ﷺ said, after he left, the Prophet ﷺ told his companions, if he speaks the truth, if he indeed does that, he will be truthful. This hadith, brothers and sisters, is a great example of how this man heard someone come to tell him about an affair of the deen, some mas'ala, some issue within the deen. And he didn't just take it. A lot of times we hear someone coming and say, well, you know, there's in Islam it says this, or there's a hadith that says that. Confirm it. Confirm this knowledge. Don't just run with it. The fact that he came to the Prophet ﷺ to confirm this knowledge straight from the Prophet ﷺ shows that we as Muslims are required to confirm the information that comes to us, especially in the matters of our deen. And this legacy of confirming the information that we get is something that the scholars very much took care of. They took pride in gathering the hadith of Rasulullah after there was a time period where some people were just narrating fabricated hadith. And they would go from one city to another, collecting the hadith to make sure that this is a real authentic hadith versus this is a fabricated hadith. This concept of confirming knowledge and knowing and not prejudging and not jumping to a conclusion, this is something that we as Muslims are required